Hi, my name is Karen Hodges. In this session, we're going to talk about a knowledge object called tags. By now, you probably know how to use Splunk as a search engine. That is, you can type in keywords in the search box and press enter to get results. And that's great. You don't need to know a whole lot about Splunk or the data you have in Splunk to begin your investigation. But by now you probably want to begin doing more targeted searches to limit your results to that particular scenario that you're troubleshooting or analyzing. I'm going to show you how to use tags to help you with that. With tags, we're going to add what we call institutional knowledge to our data. Institutional knowledge is that information that you know about your data that Splunk can never know, and that you want to be able to search off of. In this particular example, I'm looking at a search of password fails star where source type equals Linux secure. You can see from my field sidebar that my results span 5 hosts. And if I click on host, I can see what those are: www1 through 3, network syslog 1, and mail server 1. But let's say, for example, that the problem I'm currently investigating is only occurring at my corporate office, and I want to limit my search to those machines that are at my corporate office. I may very well know which of those from this list are at my corporate office, and there's only 5. But in a real-world scenario, you might have hundreds or thousands of hosts, and while you might be able to name them all off the top of your head, you certainly don't want to have to type them all every time you want to do a search across your corporate environment. So we're going to use tags to help us. I'm going to go ahead and X out this box. And recall that when we're looking at our search results, not only do we have the full event from our log file, but we also have our selected fields displayed below. And by default, the selected fields are host, source type, and source. And you can see them over here in the field sidebar. In order to be able to create a tag on a field, we need to first make the field a selected field. So if it's currently not one of your selected fields, simply click on Edit in the field sidebar. Select the field that you want to add. In this case, we could add user, and click on Save. You'll notice now that user is listed as a selected field, and it also appears below each event. The reason this is important is the place where you access tags is from the Fields Action menu. Notice next to each selected field there's a pull-down menu, and when I select the pull-down menu, the first option is to tag this field value combination. And that's actually an important point. Tags are relative to field equals value. That is a key value pair. So when I click on tag host equals www2, I've given the opportunity to give tags to this field value combination. Well, host www2 happens to be in one of my satellite offices on the East Coast. It is a test machine, and it is my web team that's responsible for maintaining that box. So, in this example, I've given this field value combination 4 different tags. When I click on OK, you can now see those tags listed next to my selected field. Well, now I need to tag the other fields, so I'm going to temporarily eliminate this one from my search results by using my Alt-Click technique. When I Alt-click on host equals www2, it temporarily eliminates it from my search results and brings another host to the top of the list. So I simply follow the steps again to tag host equals network syslog 1. This particular machine is at a satellite office on my East Coast. It is a production machine, and it's my networking team that is responsible for this particular box. Go ahead and click OK, and again use my Alt-Click technique to eliminate this one from my search results. www3 is my next host. I'm going to tag that one. This one happens to be a satellite machine on my West Coast. It is a production machine, and it is my web team that is responsible for maintaining this box. Click OK. Again, each time I add tags to a field value combination, you see them displaying here in my results. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate www3 so I can get my last 2 hosts tagged. Here's mail server 1. Mail server 1 is at my corporate office. It is a production machine, and it's my internal operations department that's responsible for that machine. Once I eliminate mail server 1 from my search results, I have one last host to tag. That's www1. This one is a corporate machine, it is a production machine, and it is maintained by my web team. So now I have tagged all of the hosts that I had in this current search results, and I'm going to go back to my original base search of source type equals Linux secure and password fail star. But remember, I said that I was currently investigating a problem that's only occurring at my corporate office. So I can add to my search criteria now tag equals corp. When I execute my search, I can see in my field sidebar that I've limited my search results to the 2 hosts that were tagged as corporate machines. Now, I may also be interested in anything that happens to be a production machine, because even though I believe that this problem is only occurring at my corporate office, I want to be certain that it's not impacting any of my other production machines. So I can add or tag equals prod. So now I'm looking for this particular scenario on my corporate or production machines. This particular case, I got 4 hosts returned as my results. Let's for a second take a look at another example so I can illustrate the fact that you can use not with your tags as well. Let's say that I was having a problem in my satellite offices, but not on the West Coast. So I could add to my search criteria tag equals sat and tag not equal to West. So that's going to eliminate any of those machines that are tagged with West from my search criteria. So hopefully you can see how tags can add institutional knowledge to your data to get more targeted searching based on information that you know about your data that Splunk could never know. There's a couple of administrative items we need to talk about with tags as well. First off, what's the scope of these tags? I know that they're relative to a field value combination, but who can use these tags? Well, in Splunk, all knowledge objects that you create are private to you until you share them. We share them through the manager link by controlling permissions. So if I wanted to make these tags available for my colleagues, I would click on the manager link in the upper right-hand corner of the black logo bar. And on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the list of knowledge objects. I'm going to go ahead and click on tags. There are 3 different views by which you can look at your tags. I'm going to go ahead and select the first one, which is list by field value pair. This produces for me a list of all the tags in the current app, the search app, owned by any user. But I'm going to go ahead and filter this to those that are owned by me. And here they are. These are the tags that I just created. Notice under the sharing column, they are all listed as private. And that's because I've not yet shared them. If I want to make them available to other users, I click on the permissions link and select the radio button, this app only. That's going to make this knowledge object available to all users of this app based on the permissions defined below. I'm going to go ahead and give the power role read and write access so they can use the tag and they can edit the tag. Whereas I'm going to give the regular users just read permission. They can use it, but I don't want them editing or deleting these tags. Go ahead and click on Save. And you'll notice under the sharing column now that this first tag has listed as app rather than private. And again, the permissions link is available should I want to change permissions on any of those objects. You'll notice other actions over here on the right, clone, move, and delete, so you can do other actions on these tags. But the other one to take specific note of is the fact that you can click on the name of the tag to edit that tag. So if I want to edit the tag for this particular field value combination, I could edit it here. So as you saw in this session, tags are knowledge objects that help you add institutional knowledge about your data to Splunk to help you do more targeted searches.